tight on the landing ground.
Thank you for joining us. You are listening to A Radio, and this is The Morning Moment. Please click on the follow button on Spreaker.com. This piece is entitled The Overton Window. The Overton Window, fact or fiction? I'm guessing not a lot of you have heard of this. Well, to put this in simple terms, it's a theory whereby you look through a sort of prism at the world. In other words, your views and your thoughts are based upon the way you view the world, and those views are coloured by where you get your information from, and that determines your assessments of said world. Here's an example which you can find online, and as always I will put links to these things on my site. Imagine this. Here's a list starting at the top and counting down. Starts with unthinkable being the first one, then below that comes radical, then acceptable, followed by sensible. Next we have popular, and then under that we have policy, and then next we have sensible, then popular, then acceptable, then radical, then unthinkable. So you have a list going from unthinkable to unthinkable. It's better when you see the chart. The idea of this theory is that you view everything that you see based on your perspective. So at present, your view in theory would be set around if you were normal, that is, whatever that is. But consider this. One example, let's just say pro-life/abortion. You may have one view or another, but if all the information you get is controlled, what you think now at present is normal one way and be considered falling in the slightly short or outside your comfort zone could in theory start to fall into what is at present acceptable or go into sensible. And thus your views are gently being adjusted, and so acceptable for that now becomes sensible. Another example is the US views on illegal immigration. What was considered only a few years ago as unthinkable has actually gradually moved towards acceptable, and even in some quarters sensible. Public opinion shifted step by step by step. Only a few years ago, using the words social justice would have been unthinkable, as it has socialist and even communist connotations. But now, with electing the first socialist president of the United States, Obama, it is no longer considered taboo. And the head of the DNC is a socialist, and some even say he's a communist. Another clear example. And of course, the biggest one of all is right under our noses, that being global warming /cooling/climate change, all rolled into Agenda 2030. But most of you have never heard of the final part, have you? Where do you think you fit into in the Overton window? Your thoughts? You can find more at aradio.wordpress.com, where you can find links to us on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, iTunes, iHeartRadio, Gab and email. We are continuing to reach out to you, so please pass on the links. Please click on the follow button on Spreaker.com. You can listen to all my morning moments at Spreaker.com under A Radio, that's EHRADIO, A Radio. And please click on the like button. And you can find all my podcasts and morning moments at aradio.wordpress.com and click on the Morning Moments tab.